All right, today we are jumping head first into Robert Greene's incredible book, The 33 Strategies of War. We're going to break it down and see how all this ancient wisdom can give you a serious edge in your life, right now.
So let's just start with this idea. What if every single day is in some way a battle? It's not always some big dramatic thing. Sometimes it's subtle, but you're always facing something, right? And what's at stake? Well, your goals, your peace of mind, your success.
So who are you fighting? Don't think about rival armies or anything like that. Your real enemies are way closer to home. It's that fear that stops you from taking a risk. It's the doubt that tells you you're not good enough. It's the competition out there, for sure. But you know what the biggest one is? It's your own mind. That's the real opponent you're up against, day in and day out.
To deal with this battlefield, Robert Greene went through 3,000 years of history and boiled it all down to this one number, 33. 33 timeless, powerful strategies for winning. And not just in war, but in the office, in your career, pretty much everywhere.
Okay, so where do we start? Well, before you even think about taking on an external challenge, the very first phase of this whole thing is internal. It's all about mastering yourself first. This is the bedrock. If you skip this part, nothing else works. And this right here perfectly explains the first rule. Look, when things get crazy, what's our first impulse? To get emotional, right? To panic, to get angry. And that path almost always leads to defeat. The true strategist, though, works on staying calm, having that presence of mind. And that calm isn't about being weak. No way. It's about being in total control. This quote just nails it. It's such a simple but powerful truth. Think about it. In almost any situation, the vast majority of people are just looking around, trying to see what everyone else is doing. They just follow the herd. But winners, they take a step back. They tune out the noise and they actually analyze what's going on for themselves. Which leads us to maybe the most important weapon you have in this first phase, independent analysis. It's just that, the ability to think for yourself, to fight that urge to just go along with the crowd. You have to see things as they really are, not how everyone else says they are. Real strategy is born right here, in your own head. Okay, so you've started to get your inner world sorted out. Now it's time to look outward. Phase 2 is all about dealing with the world of other people, their agendas, their moves, their motivations. This is where we get into defensive and organizational strategy. And here are 3 huge tactics for this phase. First, you have to pick your battles. Your energy is not infinite, so stop wasting it on things that don't matter. Second, know your enemy. And that doesn't just mean watching what they do, it means figuring out why they do it. Understand their motives. And third, trade space for time. This one's amazing. Think about the Russians against Napoleon. They kept retreating, giving up land, they even gave up Moscow. But in doing so, they stretched Napoleon's army so thin that the winter just crushed them. See? A strategic retreat is not a defeat, it's a setup for a comeback. So the main takeaway for this whole phase is this. Winning isn't about being the most aggressive person in the room. Not at all. It's about being smart, saving your energy, and having strategic patience. You know, sometimes the most powerful move you can make is knowing when not to fight. All right, we've mastered our inner self, we've learned how to defend and navigate the world. Now for phase 3. This is where we go on offense. We're talking unconventional warfare. This is all about proactively creating your own advantages and taking control of the situation. One of the coolest ideas here is what's called strategic depth. It means you're not just thinking about your next move. No, you're thinking about your move and then their reaction to that move, and then your next move after their reaction. You see, you're playing chess while everyone else is just playing checkers. So let me ask you this. Let's say you've got an opponent on the ropes. You're about to win. What's the absolute best way to finish it, to secure that total victory? The answer might not be what you think. The answer? You give them a way out. Sounds crazy, right? But think about it. An animal that's backed into a corner will fight with a terrifying, savage desperation because it has nothing left to lose. People are the same. If you give them what looks like an escape route, you can actually guide them right where you want them to go, leading them to a defeat they never even saw coming. And this phase is just packed with these kinds of brilliant, counterintuitive ideas. Act before you think you're 100% ready, because you never will be. Attack where they least expect it. Be unpredictable, impossible to read. And above all, you have to control the dynamic. Stop reacting to them and make them react to you. So, we've gone through a lot here. from mastering your own emotions to outmaneuvering others. But let's zoom out for the final debrief. What's the real point of all this? What is the ultimate victory we're even fighting for?
And that's a fair question, right? After all this talk about enemies and tactics and battlefields, you might be wondering, is the goal here to just become some kind of ruthless manipulator? And the answer to that is a hard no. It's not about that at all. These strategies, they're like a mirror. The opponent you are really truly learning how to defeat isn't someone else. It's your own weaknesses, your own fear, your own laziness, your own bad habits. That is the real war.
So the ultimate prize isn't about crushing somebody else. It's about winning those battles inside yourself. It's about finally mastering your own emotions. It's about gaining a deep, real understanding of why people do what they do. And when you do all that, you just naturally rise above all the petty drama and competition around you.
So just remember this. Life is always going to throw battles your way. These strategies aren't about starting fights. They're a toolkit for navigating the fights that are going to happen whether you like it or not. They are weapons, yes, but they're weapons for clarity, for getting things done, and for mastering yourself. Use them wisely, and honestly, no challenge will ever seem impossible again.